Okay, initially or at the end? Initially or at the end?
Yes.
Okay. Heading into staging. This is the ARC. I'm taking the ARC as a coach, but I'm not a coach. I'm taking it as a student, but I'm a coach. But it's a lot of fun. Let's see what happens here.
So as a counterbalance practice, essentially what we're doing is just trying to get used to throwing our body in the opposite direction of the motorcycle, especially in low speed situations where you're really using your friction zone, and what you want to do is kind of keep your weight over the tires. So what you do is you throw your bike in the direction you want to go while keeping your bars turned. You straighten out that outside elbow, or sorry, the inside elbow, which is going to allow you to position your body out to the right or to the left depending on which direction it is, but it is the opposite direction of which you're turning.
Part 2 of the quick stop. So we come to a stop, and then we come to a stop, check our mirrors, do a swerve around that last green cone. Let's see how this is going to look.
I was describing part 2. Part 1 is just the first quick stop. We're going to do this with Jeff as we come up over here. Yeah, the idea is to come out smooth and get to about 20 miles an hour. Come to a nice smooth, well, a quick stop essentially. So come onto the brakes initially decently, and then progressively squeeze in the middle and progressively squeeze at the end as well. And we're going to be doing this in the next portion as well. So the ARC comes up to a stop, you gun it in either direction, right or left, and you come to a quick stop. Then from there you have the decision either to put your feet down, or you can just stay on the bike, come to a stop, and then proceed to move again. My option was to do that, you know, to go ahead and stop with my feet on the bike and then continue going. What I didn't understand is they wanted me to do this also at the stops with the coaches, or not do that with the stops with the coaches and go ahead and put my foot down. So from here I'm going to switch over back to Jeff in a second. Here we go with Jeff again. On the left hand side, nice smooth 20 to 30 miles an hour, maybe a little too fast for the exercise. Up to a stop.
Okay, initially or at the end? Initially or at the end?
Yes.
Okay.
You get me, Jeff. Oh, sir, oh, sir. Here we go again, starting out, 30 miles an hour. Come to a nice clean stop. Feet on the bike still. Whip it around. Bars are squared, bike is upright, and then I move from there. So really this exercise is just to make sure that when we do the quick stop that our bars are square, our bike is straight, and then we're progressively squeezing more and more as we're getting deeper into the braking zone, or into the braking area which we're using. Essentially cutting down that distance every time we use the front brake and the rear brake simultaneously. With more of an progressive approach to the front and more of a digressive for the rear. Because as you start to use the front rear, man, that was a little bit of me just kind of goofing around there.
Initial braking needs to be in one motion.
Okay, let's see what it is. So the initial braking, I need to, this is part 2 of it essentially. Yep, this is part 2 quick stop. So we're going to essentially accelerate like we did in the second gear, coast and maintain speed, come to a quick stop, then from there check our mirrors left and right, do a left or right, do a left or right depending on the side you're on. Quick swerve, out, and then what I didn't get is you're supposed to make a tight turn from the stop after that.
It was a little bit slow, okay?
Okay.
Alright.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Gary. Appreciate it. I'll try to brake a little quicker because I didn't know I was supposed to use that quick stop there. I'll slow down a little bit more next time if I get an opportunity to take the ARC again. But yeah, the idea there, again, stop. Did put my feet down, pass the cones, stop again, don't put my feet down, get back in the line. Put my feet down with the coaches, check your mirrors, after that quick stop, then you go to the left or to the right, depending on the side you're on. Stop again, then do the tight turn from the stop to the right and to the left. Which I did not know about the tight turn for the stop. It's the first time taking the ARC, it's the first time seeing the ARC. Bam, brake. Zip it off. Stop. Tight turn from the stop right there.
We start off with a lower speed until we have the control. Make sure you come to a complete stop.
Okay.
Before you evade.
Okay.
Here it is.
You want me to put my feet down?
Yes.
There it is. That's where I made the mistake. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. You know, you learn every time you do it. That's the idea. Hopefully I get the chance to do this a couple more times. Here I slow it down. 25 miles an hour as opposed to the 30 from earlier. Put my feet down there. Go ahead and do it with Gary here on the right hand side. Nice 27 miles an hour. Progressive stop. Off. Should have stopped earlier because then I can do the tight
Thank
turn. Thank you, Gary. Gotta remind me to do that tight turn, Gary. Gotta remind me to do that tight turn, Gary. I'm watching you, Gary. Well, he's watching me, but you know he's doing the more pertinent things, the quick stop. And then the little swerve thing. The tight turn from the stop is important, but we do a lot of tight turns from the stop here. We don't do this little swerve thing very often. Here we go with Jeff again. Nice quick stop.
I forgot. Sorry. Yep.
yeah, I fucked that one up. Stopped earlier for the quick stop.
Tell yourself next time when you come to that second stop, try stopping here so
At
that
the
you
cone?
can make that tight turn.
Oh, I didn't know the tight turn was part of it. I'm sorry about that. Okay.
Yep, moron. There we go. Having a good time acting like a moron still. Nice quick stop. Bars were a little unsquare there at the end. I don't know if it was because maybe I was at the stop and I had to maintain balance, so I turned the bars, probably so. Either way, those bars should maintain square.
Cool, man.
That's what I'm calling Mickey
Doing like a
Mouse.
snowman thing. There's like 3 circle doo-doos, and we gotta go around the circle doo-doo.
Yeah, you gotta go in
Good
between the
time.
cones essentially. So there's 3 cones of differing diameters. And essentially what you gotta do is what I'm doing right now. Look, my left hand is on the friction zone, my right hand is on the throttle, if not even on the throttle. Put my visor down. Using the friction zone, using my rear brake as well, floating around the entire circle.
Okay.
I don't even know what he said there. I wish I understood what he said. Keep my something up. Arms up, gloves up, hands up, elbows up. Not too sure. Either way, I corrected it. So that was a good one. That was the medium size. If I remember correctly, the one to the right is the smallest, and the one to the left is going to be the largest. The one to the left I do last. But you approach them very different ways. So you
Like
use your
bowling
friction
pins.
zone and rear brake there, but I was able to do an even speed. Oh, the guy in front's hitting the bags on the cones. Good time.
When a circle becomes open, pick it, but ride it in the other direction if you haven't done yet.
Okay.
Thank you, Jeff. I like the way he coaches, man. I like the way he coaches. He leaves it up to the students to interpret it and also to delegate between themselves. This one's much more friction zone, as you can see. You have to, if I'm seeing here, I'm between 6 and 4, 6 and 7 miles an hour, something like that. around 6 miles an hour constant, but I feel like I'm going back and on and off, on and off, in and out of the friction zone. Much more than the second than the third. The second is a little easier, and I can modulate maybe with my rear brake so much, or maybe with my friction zone a little more, maybe a little less rear brake in general. Carry more speed though. The third moves we're going to see is a whole different thing. You know, you can really kind of coast to that sucker if you really wanted to. Man, it was such a good day, all those bikes. Hot day, but good day. Good day. Leaving it up to Jeff at the ARC. Let's see what he says here. Got a circle open. Exactly. Communicate. He wasn't moving. He wasn't doing anything. I decided to hop in. Let's go the opposite direction. Just noticing it again. I went at 9 miles an hour, down to 6. It's a much tighter circle. Friction zone and rear brake. You can really hear me in the RPMs. And what that's allowing me to do is essentially stay in the power band so the bike doesn't feel weak when I need to give it power. Even maybe so I'm decelerating or reducing my speed, but I'm doing so with the throttle, and I'm doing so with the friction zone more so. And what that's allowing me to do is decelerate, but also stay in the power band, so that way when I need to go back into it, I don't have that lull. And that helps out big time, especially on the middle circle and the right circle. The right circle especially. And that's something I wanted to point out. Let's see what Jeff says here as far as coaching.
I have one open straight ahead.
No looking, no communication, my turn. Go in the opposite direction. Let's see what I'm doing here. About 7 or 8 miles an hour, I think. 8 miles an hour. About 1 or 2 higher than the one to the right. Again, using my friction zone, listen to the engine. Just sitting up there real high. Using the friction zone to accelerate and decelerate. Give myself power there. Never fully robbing the power. Another thing I didn't mention, but I have mentioned up to now, is the head turns, where you're looking for the cones themselves. Let's see how I do on this left cone. If I remember it correctly, on this particular portion, I take the left one. Let's see, the camera gives it a good indication where I'm looking. Looking at that next cone. Good. To the right, to the left. Looking at that next cone. Good. To the right, to the left. Looking at the next cone. Those left-hand turns are a lot longer, so I have to focus on that left-hand turn. Focus on that left turn. There we go. Get back out. A little faster with the speed as well. I think that was about 10 miles an hour, maybe 11 at some points. And great head turns. You know, looking ultimately where I want to go. My shoulders turn that way, and my body goes that way. That was a fun exercise. I think we got one more exercise to go, and then that might be at the end of our video at that point.
Let's see, this is exercise 3
this is a fun one.
4, I believe. They gave, which would be exercise 8 on the BRC, which is perception, reaction, braking time. After that, we're going to do this exercise. Let's see how this rolls.
Exercise 8 for the BRC, not exercise 8 for the ARC, which is the Advanced Rider Course, which is what I'm taking as opposed to the BRC,
Remember
which
the
is what I'm
Alamo.
coached for, as well as the BRC too.
Remember the Alamo.
I had no idea what he said. It sounded something like "Remember the Alamo," so that's what I said to him. Brisk start, smooth stop. Let's see how I do. Smooth stop. Bar squared, bike upright. Eyes where I want to go. Eyes stay where I want to go. Excellent. Bar square at the end, not so square. Brisk start, smooth stop. Let's see how we go. Now it's kind of a serpentine formation as far as how it goes this entire course, and it has middle pauses throughout the first 3, I think, most extremity kind of movements, and then it has 3 without the middle pause at the end to, I guess, kind of coast in a bit more speed. That was a bit better as far as the stop. Bars are not square, but I'm looking where I want to go. A little brisk on the start. Every time I do those brisk starts, my head dips into the bike as if I'm expecting the front tire to lift. Here we go again. Keep my eyes where I want to be. Let's see if I keep them there. For the most part, I did dip to the right a bit. Bar square, bike upright. Nice. Let's do it again. Eyes where I want to be. Oop, I was not in the power band there. I was not in the power band. I had to release more in the clutch before I got into the power band and let the bike go.
Smoothing it out, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Gary. That's exactly what I need to do. Slow it down, smooth it out. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
I'm sorry?
Viva la revolución!
Thank you, Jeff, for your retort. I appreciate it. Jeff, Adventure Rider Training, I really, truly appreciate it. He's the one who sponsored me to become a basic rider coach. He's also encouraged me to do the BRC2. He's encouraged me to do the 3-wheel course, which hopefully I'll be doing soon. He's even encouraging me to do the Harley-Davidson Rider Academy, and currently I'm also working for Lynn over at Harley-Davidson Rider Academy, and so far I haven't had a class with them particularly, but it's been an agreeable and enjoyable sort of arrangement between them and I, you know. Let's see how that goes. I'm really excited for that. Again, nice smooth stop, bike straight, bar square. Let's see if I can keep my eyes where I need to be. Eyes where they need to be. Perfect. Bar square, bike straight, left foot. Let's do it again. Yep, bar square, bike straight. Now we go to the most extremities as opposed to stopping in the middle. There's no stop in the middle. For those last two, 1, 2, I guess 1, 2. 2 more stops after this one, and then I go to, well, 3, I guess if you count Gary. Gary's a good coach too. He's always telling me good things, always helping me out, always trying to keep it positive. I truly appreciate him.
Smooth.
Okay, I got it, Gary. I'll do it. Whatever you need, buddy. There we go. Oh, that Royal Enfield in front of me. That's Aaron's bike. Aaron's a nice guy. Nice bike, too. He had those wax canvas bags. Okay.
Try a
Nope.
half a mile an hour slower on your take.
Okay.
That was maybe like 3 miles an hour slower, but you know, hey, who's counting? Basically, it's telling me to reduce it. But half a mile means that I'm still doing it briskly, just maybe a little too briskly. You know, I don't necessarily want to lift the front tire. There we go. Bar straight. Bike's bar squared, bike straight. Heading out and over, looking where I need to be. End up where I'm looking. Bam. Look at the next turn. Oop, yep. Had some difficulties. Visors down. Yep, visors down. Step it up. Smooth, baby, smooth. Nice and smooth. now that I think about it, brisk. Brisk was also on exercise 2, or sorry, this was on the BRC 2, this exact exercise, and it does say exercise, or sorry, accelerate briskly, and then stop smoothly. Bars were not 100% squared. Still a smooth, gentle stop, which is the ultimate goal. There you go. Let's see what kind of smart thing Gary's got to say at the end of this. Come on, Gary, what you got to say? What you got to say?
I look better.
Good. Creamy.
Smooth, creamy. Thanks, Gary. Oh, Jeff's calling me in. They're calling it good. I'm going to be the star student. I'm going to lead him in for the
So look at the riders.
staging process.
The objective is to head and eyes up, maintain precise control, handlebars square, stop gently with the handlebars square.
Everybody looks like they're getting at the objective. Head and eyes up, looking through the turn. Bars squared when they come to a stop.
Accelerate briskly. Right now, of the
Not so
riders
much on the brisk.
who you see, who's accelerating
Noise
briskly
here.
and stopping gently with the handlebars square.
Nobody in particular.
The scooter I've seen the last couple times has been doing pretty good.
And it's a loaded question because I see everybody doing it to some degree.
Yes.
So this stop. There you go.
Thanks,
Nice.
Jeff. Thanks.
Gently, handlebars square. Who has to
I don't know
do
about
the
brisk,
teaching
but-
here?
The bike.
Correct, sir. The bike. The bike ultimately has to do the teaching.
He's
That's the
getting much
ultimate
better.
instructor.
Say again?
He's getting much better.
Yep. Agreed.
And it's not just your bike, it's manipulate any sort of motorcycle to be able to do it because its
Yeah.
principles are
Tony, you
transferable.
make a large, slow loop around the perimeter so
Yes, sir.
everybody has a chance to get some air over them.
Okay.
Back to the staging here.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being concerned about our comfort, sir. That was a good time, man. For the most part, this is some of the exercises I was able to record off from the ARC. There was some more decreasing radius and some other fun ones, but unfortunately I wasn't able to record them all. I didn't have enough battery capacity with me to record it all, and I'd made some mistakes early on leaving the camera on. But, you know, hey, it happens sometimes. But this is what I did get, and I did have a good time. And these are a lot of the principles which you do find in the BRC and the BRC2, which are transferable to the ARC, just in a more fluid manner. We also do touch on some other stuff such as trail braking and body position, which we don't touch too much on the BRC2 or BRC, except for some things.
Okay, riders, make sure your keys are off. You dismount. Let's go.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it, man. It was a good time. Thank you, Adventure Rider Training. Thank you, all the students who did it with me. I appreciate everybody. Man, every time I do it, I have a great time. Riding motorcycles just seems to be enjoyable. Hopefully I can do this for a long time. Thank you.